in our matters of public policy around public health, we have to allow for an individual's religious or philosophical objection to a point in policy. Article 1, Section 11, absolute freedom of conscience.
After 28 years of service and 6 months of service during the pandemic, I got an email from the Department of Health saying that I couldn't serve as a professional firefighter any longer if I didn't take the vaccine. There's thousands of years of professional experience that were terminated because this state made a mistake.
I think about my kids, the threat of our children having to take something that we weren't even sure to take ourselves. And the threat of having 4 kids at home with disabilities who already have learning disabilities and having to take a vaccine to keep my job so I could put food on the table for those kids.
When I was on the school board and having to look at some of these decisions, and we were asking questions as a board as to why you're requesting an exemption, the privacy invasion for some of the employees was more than they wanted. And so we had an employee who agreed to not come in at all until the pandemic was over or there was more information on the vaccine. We asked this person to do a religious or a medical exemption if they could. They were afraid that we were going to breach their privacy and refuse. Our board then got a letter from the Attorney General's office threatening to sue us and name us as individual board members and seek our personal assets as remedy unless we complied with firing, terminating this employee who was afraid to disclose some of their personal information.
My key card, my swipe card to the legislature where I was newly elected was disabled. I was not allowed in the building.
We need to have robust, healthy, public, honest debate about what Washington State did right, what we got horribly wrong, Madam Speaker, and what that path looks like for the future to do better.
I'm not anti-vax. My children are vaccinated, and my grandchildren right now are being vaccinated. But as we've learned and as we heard tonight about the lack of trust that the public has with our government health systems, in committee, we had nearly 10,000 people sign in con on this bill.
Our state constitution puts it plainly that governments at all levels derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Madam Speaker, mandates from government agencies, by definition, resist the consent of the governed. Consent must be given before governance takes place.
Tonight, what you heard is just the frustration of that 5 years of not even being able to talk about it on this House floor that much. And I think it was important. I want to thank the good gentleman and everybody for having listened to that tonight. And I hope we can move forward and get better policy in the future that addresses some of the many concerns that were expressed on this floor tonight and be able to heal the wrongs that were done to many innocent people in our communities, urging a no.